and let us all do we can to build a better future.
So we all know that Chicago's going to be hosting the 2024 Democratic primary. And yes, or primary, but convention, right? And Heartland's Media will be there to cover it. But now there's a new poll that's come out in regards towards Biden. Now, again, we haven't got the official announcement. I know there's video on social media saying that he said he was going to run, but hey, first things first. First things first, there has to be the true official announcement. Now, we already know that Marianne, Williamson, and RFK Jr. are already in the ring, ready to face off against Biden or whoever will be in the 2024 Democratic primary. But a new poll has just come out, and it really calls into question about whether or not the Democrats really want to trust their old donkey Biden. Half in new polls say Biden policies have not helped middle class at all. About half of the respondents in a new poll said that the Biden-Harris administration current policies have not helped the middle class at all. The poll published on Tuesday by Monmouth University found that 51% of respondents said that the middle-class families have not benefited from Biden's policies so far, while 10% have said they believe the middle-class families have benefited a lot from his policies. What? And around 36% of respondents believe the middle-class families have benefited a little bit from the administration's policies, according to the poll. In comparisons, Biden's current numbers are similar to what former President Trump pulled in during his first year in office, where 11% of respondents said the middle-class families have benefited a lot from his administration's policies, while 53% of those surveyed disagreed. When asked about families in the upper echelon in earnings, 29% of respondents said that the wealthy families have not benefited from Biden's policy so far, compared to 31% who said wealthy families benefited a little bit from the administration's policies, and 28% who said wealthy families benefited a lot from the policies. A lot. So families are all saying the same thing. Like, again, Biden, not the most trusted warhorse. So again, we do need to ask ourselves, what does this mean going forward for the Democratic primary? Well, of course, corporate media is going to be carrying water for the Democratic establishment because, again, any kind of negative press about the Biden-Harris administration is going to be, well, dismissed. Any negative press at all. And that means also the challengers, too.
That's a key point because he does not face a serious primary challenge right now. There are one candidate declared, Marianne Williamson, one coming, Robert Kennedy Jr. He's blocked the D.C. crime bill. Some liberals, especially in the House, didn't like that. The migrants, curbing migrants at the southern border, or oil drilling project given the okay in Alaska, eliminating the last two are more progressive policies trying to limit that. But he's trying to strike the balance, give some things to your base, but also get back to the center some.
Without a doubt. And the only reason he has this luxury of time is because, as you said, he doesn't have a primary challenge.
Okay, look, I'm not going to be voting Democrat, but look, RFK Jr. in some recent polls showed that he is at 10%. He's in between. Now, of course, again, he's just in the race, but I mean, yeah, he's a contender. I mean, it wasn't too long ago. I don't mean to reopen this wound, but it wasn't too long ago in 2016 where Bernie Sanders was dismissed as a nobody. And now we all know how that election turned out, but remember, the establishment was saying, oh, well, Bernie isn't something to worry about until the movement that broke all our hearts came into creation. Same thing goes for Marianne Williamson, too. Look, she was in the 2020 Democratic primary. And yes, she has already acknowledged that she's going to be running in 2024. They are contenders. And there's one thing politics has taught me and should teach all of you is never underestimate anyone. The media learned that lesson the hard way when it came down to Trump getting the nomination and winning in 2016. That is true. Now, of course, that's CNN, but I do want to pull up this video from Fox News. I know it's Fox News, but I think it's important that we do address the fact that there are other contenders facing off against Biden. And Biden has yet to truly make a public announcement.
F. Kennedy Jr., the son of Bobby Kennedy and nephew of JFK, has just declared he's running for president and will primary Joe Biden to be the Democratic nominee. RFK Jr. wants to pick up where his family left off.
The easiest thing for a politician to do is to appeal to our greed, to our anger, to our fear. And what my father tried to do is much more complicated, but you can do it, which is to make people feel that they're part of a community and that they're on a heroic journey to do something that is going to be great, that's going to be historical. People respond to that kind of vision. I saw it happen to my father, and we can do it again in this country.
So RFK Jr. has a vision. I mean, at least he has one. Biden has none. RFK Jr.'s lane is on the populist left. Unlike Biden, he's against the deep state, obviously, because of what happened to his dad and uncle. Anti-censorship. Remember, the Biden White House censored him over vaccines. He's riding a hot anti-corporate streak, especially against big pharma and big tech.
You see, the assault on not only on the poor in our country, but there was a $3.8 trillion shift in wealth from the middle class and the poor to this new aristocracy of billionaires, a lot of them from Silicon Valley, who own the companies that were the biggest beneficiaries. And they were the ones who were censoring criticism of the lockdowns that were making them rich. So if you're outside of this system and you're looking in, it looks crooked.
So he's got a little Bernie bro in him. But
okay, all right, come on, Fox News. Enough with the Bernie bro stuff. Okay, again, it was something created by your best friends. Fox News, the Clinton campaign of 2016. They're the ones who came up with that term. All right, come on, enough with the whole thing with Bernie bro. But it does call into question of how these other Democratic contenders are being perceived by various media outlets. Now, look, I know a lot of you watching this segment or watching us live, a lot of you do not want to vote Democrat or Republican. A lot of you identify as independents, third parties, or, hey, some of you just have said flat out, I don't care about voting. I don't care about it at all. But the purpose of this show is to acknowledge the fact that, yes, there's going to be 2 primaries taking place. And yes, there will be third-party candidates running too. And we need to cover all these candidates. But yet, MSNBC, CNN, CBS, ABC, well, they have the perception of dismissing anyone that would challenge the Biden-Harris administration. But polling data cannot be dismissed. Biden's numbers are in the toilet. Kamala Harris is not faring any better. And this administration has failed to follow through with all of its supposed promises it was going to make to the left after the 2020 election cycle. They didn't. And again, they still implemented a lot of Trump's foreign and domestic policies. The kids are still in cages. And Americans are losing their small businesses. Americans are being evicted from their homes and apartments. These are still serious, ongoing issues. Hell, look, I know there's a lot of environmental problems, but hey, Biden and Harris, what are you guys going to do about the people in East Palestine, Ohio? What about the lead in Chicago's drinking water? What about the fact that Flint, Michigan still doesn't have clean drinking water? Again, madness and insanity all around. And I think it's important we do acknowledge the fact that there are other contenders that are going to be facing off against Biden. And again, my advice to RFK Jr. in the off chance he sees this video, just don't forget what they did to Bernie Sanders' campaign in 2016 and 2020. Don't forget what they did to Tulsi Gabbard's campaign in 2020, because you're not going to have any buddies or friends in corporate media. And I would recommend going on independent media and various other platforms and to run an aggressive campaign similar to, yes, shocking statement, controversial statement, and 3, 2, 1, run your campaign similar to Trump, but don't be like him. There you go. That's all I could say, because currently right now, playing along with the DNC and its rules will get you screwed over. Just look what happened to the Bernie Sanders campaign.
he can get traction with the populist right too, you know? Before COVID, his brand was being an environmentalist, but he appeals to conservationists as well. He has a connection to Black America and Hollywood. You know, his wife, Cheryl Hines, she's the co-star of Curb Your Enthusiasm. And he has universal name ID, so he'll be able to raise some cash. And donors right now are looking for anybody but Joe Biden. His polls are in the gutter.
The numbers are beyond sobering for President Biden. They tell us many, or in some cases most of you, have deep doubts about his performance and about the direction of the country right now.
We asked the American people if he deserves re-election, if he deserves a second term.
32%, just a third of Americans in this poll, John, say yes. When we asked that back in December, it was up at 37%. So how's Biden going to play this thing out? The Kennedy family has a history of disruption, and the Kennedys are everything the Bidens wanted to be. Biden wanted to be a Kennedy so bad that he plagiarized them.
Cannot measure the health of our children, the quality of our education, the joy of their play.
The gross national product does not allow for the health of our children, the quality of their education, or the joy of their play.
Our generation of Americans will pay any price, bear any burden, accept any challenge, and meet any hardship.
We shall pay any price.
Gee, Biden, why are you click copying and pasting? Why are you copying, Biden?
Bear any burden, meet any hardship.
So is Biden going to plagiarize, hide, drop out, run? We have no idea.
Come on. Hey, let's have democracy in the chat, folks. A type 1 if you think the Biden campaign is going to doing some click copying plagiarism and getting some stuff from Wikipedia. Type 1 for, yeah, they're going to be doing it. Type 2 for like, no, the Democratic Party always runs their campaigns with integrity, honor, justice, nobility. That's what they do. Come on. Oh, I'm seeing a whole lot of ones here. Almost like you guys know firsthand. What? The
DNC will probably rig it so there won't be a debate. And it's going to be tough for RFK Jr. to get on TV because Big Pharma pays the bills. But he is a Kennedy, and anything could happen. Let's bring in Dana Perino, my co-host on the 5 and co-anchor.
All right, now enough of Fox News. Shout out to Case Study QB for capturing these video clips. Please be sure to support his work. He's wrongly being censored on Twitter. So here's my perspective. Here's my final note on this entire endeavor of this Democratic primary that's going to be taking place. Look, if RFK wants to get his name out there, go on to independent media. Go on shows like Russell Brand show, or Joe Rogan's podcast, or the Jimmy Dore show, or RBN, Hard Lens Media. You're going to have to go on independent media. You're going to have to run a very slick online campaign because, yes, corporate media is going to dismiss you. So what you're going to have to do is, again, control the narrative. Don't be friendly with the establishment. Now, good luck. Good luck, because the Democratic, the DNC establishment is well known for committing election fraud. So good luck to all contenders in that race. Now, I'm going to be doing what I like to do, and that is supporting citizen ballot initiatives, supporting third parties and independent candidates, because let's face it, we need to break away from the two-party system. But I find it interesting now how the establishment is gearing up to dismiss any criticism toward the Biden-Harris administration. And as usual, it's interesting to see them go after any other contenders that choose to fight against the Democrats' establishment pick.